The world of Avatar is full of incredible heroes.
Team Avatar is back! Air, water, earth, fire, fan and sword!
But you see, the villains are the ones who truly test their strength. And trust me, the show had quite a number of them.
Now, 10,000 years of darkness begins.
I'm not even gonna count Zuko, because dude's in a different category altogether.
You know, Zuko, I don't care what everyone else says about you. You're pretty smart.
We're talking villains who literally turned the world upside down. From master manipulators to fierce-bending masters, here's our ranking of the most powerful and unforgettable villains in the Avatar universe.
That's her. That's the girl you were looking for.
Kicking off our list at number 15, we have Varrick.
Tell me who sent you!
It was Varrick. Please don't hurt me, Nuktuk.
Varrick might seem like a quirky businessman, but his tech innovations and manipulations had far-reaching consequences.
I think this is our cue to exit. Where do you think you're going?
Even though he stood to gain from it, he didn't really cause much harm.
Don't tell me you guys are still mad about everything that happened. I did some good things, too.
Yes, he stole from Asami, but hey, her business was already failing.
You stole everything from me, and you tried to kidnap the president. Those are pretty bad, too.
I wasn't going to hurt him. I just needed to start a war.
Then he framed Mako for a crime and disgraced him.
Mako! Who got you thrown in jail? I did! Oh yeah, I guess that was a bad thing.
In the end, Varrick was just like other villains in The Legend of Korra. He started with a reasonable idea, but then used dishonest and extreme means to address it.
Raiko must have turned purple when Kuvira made him pardon me of my alleged crimes.
The difference is, he stayed around longer after being stopped and got a chance to make up for his mistakes.
Look, I am truly sorry for the mess I caused. Let me make it up to you.
But if the writers had any balls, they would have kept Varrick as a villain. He was always fun, charming, and just bad.
Varrick Industries built this prison, and I had this cell made special. I had a feeling I'd end up here one day.
Imagine how shocking it would have been if, in the end, the lovable Varrick, who had Sokka's inventive mind, actually remained evil.
You're insane.
You knew that when you hired me.
Coming in at number 14, we have Long Feng.
I'm a cultural minister to the king.
Long Feng was stuck in his own mess, just like when you keep making things worse when you're in a tough spot.
Thanks for showing everyone.
He had a good situation for a while, but was so caught up in his own ideas that he couldn't find a way out.
Foolish boy.
He was too focused on controlling the Earth Kingdom than defeating the Fire Nation.
It's my job to oversee the rest of the city's resources, including the military.
He thought the city was impenetrable and he could wait out the war, but he was wrong.
It is the strict policy of Ba Sing Se that the war not be mentioned within the walls.
Of course, he didn't want anyone messing with his power, especially not the Avatar, who might try to weed out corruption.
All right, Avatar, you've caused me enough problems.
What pissed me off was that he kidnapped our beloved Bison. Sending the team on a wild chase for Appa was just plain foolish.
I can handle you by myself.
Don't get me started on this next part. Like, what the hell was he thinking? Trying to team up with Azula? For God's sakes, she's the Fire Lord's daughter and heir to a nation they've fought for 100 years. If he was as smart as he said, he should have known she's a brilliant strategist and a firebending prodigy who has done things most adults could never do.
For 100 years, the Fire Nation has hammered away at Ba Sing Se from the outside, but now we're on the inside.
But instead, he let her take command of his troops and make plans to take over the nation, while he relaxed with tea and fancy food.
The key is the Dai Li. Whoever controls the Dai Li controls Ba Sing Se.
Then he betrays her after all the work was done, hoping she wouldn't backstab him first.
Now comes the part where I double-cross you.
Bro must be out of his damn mind.
You've beaten me at my old game.
Don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player.
At number 13 is Desna and Eska.
Hello, my feeble turtle duck.
They showed strong waterbending skills and held their own against the Avatar in a water battle. I enjoyed them as villains because of their cold demeanor, but their lack of morals was frustrating.
I'm not on the hunt for you. currently.
I get that they were just their father's minions and had been brainwashed by him, but by the end of Book 2, it was clear they knew right from wrong.
It seems Cousin Korra is under the impression we are saddened by our father's demise.
But I will not miss him at all. In the end, he became a deplorable man.
Agreed.
Honestly, I think they should have been held more accountable, and definitely shouldn't have been allowed to rule the Northern Water Tribe after what they did.
This is a surprise.
Finally, something interesting happens. Ruling the tribe is so tedious.
Plus, their creepiness and lack of relatability to regular people made it worse.
You guys gotta save me. I thought you were breaking up with her. What happened to ripping off the leech? I tried!
Although, Eska made the right choice by breaking up with Bolin since the relationship was actually abusive.
The eternal darkness was upon us. I became caught up in the moment.
It's wild to think they're related to Korra.
Why didn't you warn me your cousin had the power to reach into my heart and crush my soul with her bare hands?
'Cause I thought it was pretty obvious.
Number 12 is
Captain Zhao. It's Commander now.
Zhao has no backstory to explain his behavior, but we can guess he had a comfortable upbringing in the Fire Nation nobility, since he was trained by Zhong and quickly rose through the Navy ranks.
Let's find out what my old master has taught you.
You were Zhong student?
Until I got bored.
And honestly, there's not one good thing about the guy.
It's daybreak at last. Let's write history.
Ozai? He's attractive. Azula? She's tragic. Feng? Well, you have to admire his cunning. But Zhao? He's just despicable.
Nowhere to run now, you little smartmouth.
He destroyed part of Wan Shitong's library, for heaven's sake. Zhao was so arrogant that he thought he could kill the Moon Spirit.
The Fire Nation will for generations tell stories about the great Zhao who darkened the moon.
Dude was a danger not just to others, but to himself.
Whatever you do to that spirit, I'll unleash on you tenfold! Let it go now!
If he messed with the spirit world like that, he could have done even worse. Frankly speaking, he deserved a harsher punishment than he got.
I am Zhao the Conqueror. I am the Moon Slayer. I will capture the Avatar.
Imagine being arrested by the ocean spirit. It's scary to think how his lack of humility could have led to such disaster. Like, what would the world have done without the moon?
There's no hope now.
Zhao was one of the most dangerous villains in Avatar simply because of his mindset.
I am a legend now.
Number 11 goes to Combustion Man.
Sokka, watch out! It's Sparky Boom Man!
Combustion Man is a trained and mysterious mercenary. We only know him by his nickname, and the series gives no clues about his background.
I got it! The perfect name for that guy! Combustion Man!
He appears in the final season, never utters a single word, and uses a unique combustion bending ability.
This is crazy! How can we beat a guy who blows things up with his mind?
Sparky was hired by Prince Zuko for his secret mission of hunting the Avatar.
The Avatar's alive. I want you to find him and end him.
And trust me, this guy was ruthless and relentless. Eventually, he gets killed by Sokka of all people and is never mentioned again. Sliding into number 10, we have Kuvira.
All hail the great uniter!
Kuvira was a master metalbender with a vision of uniting the Earth Kingdom under her iron fist.
I won't celebrate until the Earth Kingdom is 100% reunited.
She believed the Earth Kingdom needed unity and strong leadership to overcome chaos and banditry, and she was right that Prince Wu wasn't up to the task. So she took on the role herself, with good intentions and a determination to bring safety and strength to the nation.
You're Kuvira.
And you're the bandits who have been causing chaos, where I am trying to establish order.
However, like other villains, she went too far. Kuvira became obsessed with control, purity, unity, and security. She used violence so often that it became a habit.
Whoa! Now there's a voice in my head telling me to drop you on the tracks. Should I listen?
Her love for her nation turned into hatred for anything that threatened its borders and progress, creating a monster.
Anyone who crosses our borders or stands in our way will be crushed.
She followed the path of many past tyrants, letting her past successes cloud her judgment and justifying her extreme actions.
Right now, you're lost. But pledge your loyalty to me, and I'll give you a new purpose in your lives.
Forcing cities and states within the Earth Kingdom to join her empire and supply her army was wrong. If she had continued unchecked, Kuvira might have tried to take over the world like Ozai.
You swore your loyalty to me, and I gave you a chance at greatness. This is how you repay me?
You're a monster. I regret nothing.
She was also a badass in her own right, besting the heroes several times with her brute strength and clever tactics. Overall, Kuvira's story showed how a person with good intentions and the ability to carry them out can lose their humanity through violence, with success pushing them further into a twisted version of their original goals.
I don't think you understand the power I possess.
Let me make it clear.
Kuvira was the hero the Earth Kingdom needed, until she wasn't.
All hail the Great Uniter!
Worst coronation ever.
At number 9, we have Zaheer, leader of the Red Lotus, a powerful terrorist group with skilled benders. Zaheer is like the Airbender version of Ozai, pushing the idea of freedom to the extreme of anarchy and trying to force it on other nations.
All I wanted was to show the Avatar a better path for the world.
He's a calm and strategic villain, waiting for the right moment to strike and ensuring things go his way.
Avatar Korra, Misty Palms Inn. Find her.
Zaheer's airbending wasn't advanced, but he used it in deadly ways.
Freedom is just as essential as air. And without it, there is no life. There is only darkness.
However, Zaheer's problem is that he's an anarchist with a flawed understanding of his own philosophy.
I want what you want, to restore balance to this world.
Instead of organizing people and building a new society, he focuses on killing political leaders, thinking that will solve everything.
You've had to deal with a moronic president and a tyrannical queen. Don't you think the world would be better off if leaders like them were eliminated?
Historically, most anarchists have focused on uniting workers and creating strong communities, knowing that simply killing leaders without having a plan for what comes next leads to chaos.
True freedom can only be achieved when oppressive governments are torn down.
But that won't bring balance. It will throw the world into chaos.
Exactly.
But no, Zaheer skips straight to violence, which makes him look incompetent to anyone who understands true anarchist thought.
The idea of having nations and governments is as foolish as keeping the human and spirit realms separate.
Real anarchists face discrimination because people often think their ideology is just about violence and chaos, and Zaheer's actions reinforce this negative stereotype.
The natural order is disorder.
Even his plan to kill Korra and end the Avatar cycle doesn't make sense, since anarchists oppose political rulers, and the Avatar doesn't fit that role.
I mean, I don't really agree with what they've done, but taking out world leaders isn't the answer.
Despite his flawed ideas, Zaheer's greatest strength is his mind, not his physical abilities. This makes him a dangerous man, both before and after gaining airbending powers.
Do you know who once said, new growth cannot exist without first the destruction of the old?
No.
The wise guru Lahima.
Number 8 goes to Sozin.
How dare you, a citizen of the Fire Nation, address your Fire Lord this way?
Sozin spent 17 years conquering the Earth Kingdom, killing hundreds, and establishing dozens of Fire Nation colonies.
I've seen the colonies, Sozin. How dare you occupy Earth Kingdom territory?
He claimed he wanted to share the peace of the Fire Nation, but tried to force it, taking a wrong turn.
I've been thinking, we should share this prosperity with the rest of the world. In our hands is the most successful empire in history. It's time we expanded it.
Roku, probably his only friend, refused to help and later turned against him, which likely affected his psyche.
No, the 4 nations are meant to be just that. 4.
Roku, you haven't even stopped to consider the possibilities.
There are no possibilities. This is the last I want to hear about this.
Even though he loved Roku and admitted in his later years that his life was better with him around, he tried to kill Roku behind his back and regretted leaving him to die.
Without you, all my plans are suddenly possible. I have a vision for the future, Roku.
Despite having a dragon himself, Sozin drove dragons to near extinction for the sake of blood sport.
I can't believe there are still living dragons. My uncle Iroh said he faced the last dragon and killed it.
So your uncle lied?
He must have lied to protect them, so no one else would hunt them.
He erased information about the true source of firebending, which is powered by calmness and discipline, and promoted firebending fueled by rage and hate. This way, his soldiers and citizens wouldn't question his legacy.
But I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your permanent end.
His actions started a tradition of violent sibling rivalries and dysfunctional families in the Fire Nation royal family, setting the nation on a terrible path.
I'm sure your brother simply needs a moment.
Don't interrupt, Uncle!
Damn, mental health issues seem to run in his family. You know someone is delusional when they spread the peace by destroying the most peaceful civilization first.
Gyatso.
Sozin didn't care about how much trauma this caused his own people. He was a monster, plain and simple.
He famously waited for the comet, later renamed Sozin's Comet, and used its power to launch his full-scale invasion of the world.
And the fact that he died peacefully in his sleep, without facing consequences for his crimes, makes him a real karma Houdini.
But how did he die?
Didn't you pay any attention in school, Zuko? He died peacefully, in his sleep. He was ancient.
Number 7 is Azula.
Hello, brother. Uncle.
What are you doing here?
Azula is cruel, vindictive, and evil to her core, and she enjoys it.
What are you doing here?
You mean it's not obvious yet? I am about to celebrate becoming an only child!
Raised as the favored child of a genocidal conqueror, her father instilled in her a sense of superiority.
And your brother Zuko is a failure. I have a task for you.
Azula was born a psychopath, displaying all the traits of one. For example, she smiled when Zuko was burned by their father during an Agni Kai. Someone else's pain, even her brother's, amuses her instead of making her sad or upset.
See, I told you it would work!
Her mental strength translated into exceptional bending skills. She could bend blue fire, which is generally hotter than orange fire, and she could also generate lightning. This shows her high level of skill. Azula turns her cruelty into an asset.
Wow, Azula, you were right!
When she first appeared, Aang and his friends regularly saw hell once or twice a day.
We can take them. 3 on 3.
Actually, Toph, there's 4 of us.
At a point, 6 people ganged up on her, but she escaped with quick thinking. Azula is power-hungry and doesn't waste time on small-scale plans.
But true power, the divine right to rule, is something you're born with.
She manipulates everyone, including her own brother, to the point where he has to remind himself, Azula always lie.
Set our course for home, Captain.
Home.
You heard the princess! Raise the anchors! We're taking the prisoners home!
She pressures allies like the Dai Li into her cause, as they're afraid of what she might do to them.
Azula!
Have you met the Dai Li? They're earthbenders, but they have a killer instinct that's so firebender. I just love it.
I mean, take a look at how she treats Mei and Tai Li. It's all about control.
Oh, I'm sure it is, War Minister Ching. But just to be on the safe side,
Mei and Ty Lee, take the earthbenders out.
Azula's character shows that a villain can be powerful and terrifying without needing to be sympathetic.
Do the tides command this ship?
No, Princess.
Well then, maybe you should worry less about the tides, who've already made up their mind about killing you, and worry more about me, who's still mulling it over.
I'll pull us in.
At number 6 is Ozai.
Hail, Fire Lord Ozai!
Ozai was a terrifying figure who intended to complete what his great-grandfather Sozin started.
Now, I will use its power to end the Earth Kingdom. Permanently.
He was an egotistical sociopath who wanted to take over the world.
A world in which all the lands are Fire Nation, and I am the supreme ruler of everything.
Despite favoring his daughter Azula and praising her firebending skills, he neglected her, viewing her only as a tool for his power and dominance. This became clear when he decided to lead the fleet of airships to Ba Sing Se alone, instead of taking Azula with him as initially planned.
I've decided to lead the fleet of airships to Ba Sing Se alone. You will remain here in the Fire Nation.
But I thought we were going to do this together.
My decision is final.
With Sozin's comet approaching, which would boost firebender powers, Ozai planned to use it to burn the Earth Kingdom to the ground, killing thousands of civilians.
Sozin's comet is almost upon us, and on that day it will endow us with the strength and power of 100 suns. No bender will stand a chance against us.
And since the Earth Kingdom held most of the world's land and population, its destruction would mean wiping out most life on the planet. Ozai was a confident and powerful firebender, becoming nearly unstoppable with the comet. When Aang offered him a chance to end things peacefully, he refused and chose to fight. During their battle, he tortured Aang physically and psychologically, trying to burn him alive, while mocking his weakness and the genocide of his people.
They did not deserve to exist in this world, in my world. Prepare to join them. Prepare to die!
Man was so relentless that he almost corrupted Aang's spirit.
What did you do to me?
Throughout the series, Ozai was taken seriously as a deadly and heinous villain.
Well, look at you, Buster. Now that your firebending's gone, I guess we should call you the Loser Lord.
At number 5, we have Councilman Tarrlok.
Tarrlok, I don't know what you did to get Chief Saikan in your pocket, but I highly doubt it was legal.
Oh, Tenzin. Always the conspiracy theorist.
Tarrlok was a shady and manipulative politician who took extreme measures to hide his secrets.
Look, I'll make you a deal. You fall in line and do what I say, and I'll release your friend.
He had no problem discriminating against innocent non-benders in Republic City, arresting them, and falsely claiming they were equalists.
So sad to see your little team avatar broken up. You had a good run.
He took control of Republic City much like his father did in the past, but he used different methods.
You're doing exactly what Amon says is wrong with benders. You're using your power to oppress and intimidate people.
And you don't?
Tarrlok was a skilled waterbender and an accomplished bloodbender, though not as powerful as his brother or father. He revealed his true nature when he knocked out Tenzin and other council members in court. And subdued Avatar Korra.
You're a bloodbender?
Very observant.
Despite his tragic end with Amon, Tarrlok managed to redeem himself and end the family curse.
It will be just like the good old days.
Number 4 is Hama.
Sorry to frighten you. My name is Hama.
Hama literally gives me nightmares. She was the founding mother of bloodbending and a very skilled waterbender.
That was incredible! It's a shame about the lilies, though.
Hama figured out how to take water from her surroundings and taught this technique to Katara. She spent decades in a cage, waiting for full moons to practice her techniques. Eventually, she used her new skill to terrorize Fire Nation villagers for years.
You're going to be locked away forever.
My work is done.
But Hama was also an idiot in a way. She had these incredible powers that could defeat any bender, and since her powers were unknown, no one would see her coming or know how to stop her. Instead of using her powers to crush the Fire Nation's forces or leadership and end the war, she chose to take out her anger on innocent civilians.
You're the one who's making people disappear during the full moons!
They threw me in prison to rot, along with my brothers and sisters. They deserve the same.
But I don't really blame her. I mean, after spending decades in captivity, she was bound to lose her sanity.
It's impossible to fight your way out of my grip. I control every muscle, every vein in your body.
Taking the 3rd spot is Yakone.
You're under arrest, Yakone.
What is Republic City coming to? Used to be a man could enjoy his lunch in peace.
Yakone was the first bloodbender the Avatar encountered who could use the ability outside of a full moon.
Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't get involved. But if what those victims said is true, we're not dealing with a normal criminal.
Fine. Follow me, Twinkle Toes.
He overpowered an entire courtroom, holding everyone under his control.
Yakone, you won't get away with this.
Republic City is mine, Avatar.
When Aang chased him, Yakone captured him with his bloodbending, and even a fully realized Avatar Aang couldn't break free without using the Avatar state. Aang took away his bending, but he still knew enough to teach his powerful bloodbending skills to his 2 sons.
It's over.
Number 2 is Amon.
Amon!
Amon had a deep hatred for benders and saw bending as an impurity that needed to be cleansed.
Those men were supposedly the best in the bending world, and yet it only took a few moments for me to cleanse them of their impurity.
He believed bending caused suffering and gave benders an unfair advantage over non-benders.
That is why the spirits have chosen me to usher in a new era of balance.
To fix these inequalities, Amon used fear tactics, openly threatened benders, and enjoyed seeing his enemies powerless and scared.
Let this be a warning to all of you benders out there. If any of you stand in my way, you will meet the same fate.
He was ruthless and unwavering in his anti-bending beliefs, even kidnapping and almost debending innocent children.
Tonight, I rid the world of airbending. Forever.
Amon was a skilled bloodbender. He could control multiple targets without much effort, manipulating their bodies, levitating them, and knocking them unconscious.
Amon! Everything the Avatar said is true, isn't it? I just saw you bloodbender.
He could resist bloodbending from others, even from Tarrlok, who was also highly skilled in the art. Despite his fascination with bloodbending, Amon wanted more power.
The power to take a person's bending away. Permanently.
He admired Avatar Aang's ability to remove bending, and eventually learned to do it himself by using bloodbending to sever the meridians linked to elemental chakras, disrupting the flow of chi necessary for bending.
What did you do to me?
Your firebending is gone. Forever.
He used this power many times, even against Avatar Korra.
I told you I would destroy you.
Amon was also a skilled waterbender, using advanced techniques when he did waterbend.
He's waterbending!
However, he mostly relied on martial arts and chi blocking to fight, hiding his bending abilities. He was nimble and agile, dodging attacks with ease and using small applications of bloodbending to defend himself. He could quickly recover from powerful attacks, showing strong physical resilience.
I'm impressed. No one has ever gotten the better of me like that.
However, Amon was not wise. He claimed to fight for equality, but used extreme and misguided methods.
You're welcome to come down here and try to stop me.
Instead of organizing strikes, protesting discriminatory laws, or improving accommodations for non-benders, he trained people to kidnap benders and take away their bending.
But thankfully, modern technology has provided us with a way to even out the playing field. Now, anyone can hold the power of a chi blocker in their hand.
This approach was as foolish as a disability activist, teaching people to cripple others to achieve equality.
Benders like this girl only use their power to oppress us!
Yeah! Instead of making society better for non-benders and improving Republic City, he just took away benders' abilities, bringing equality by making everyone disabled.
The revolution has begun!
And finally at number 1 is Unavaatu.
Now, 10,000 years of darkness begins.
Remember Avatar Korra's uncle who fused with Vaatu to bring about 10,000 years of darkness?
When harmonic convergence comes, I will fuse with Vaatu. And together we will become the new Avatar. A dark Avatar.
Yes, that was Unalaq, the Dark Avatar.
Now a new era for spirits and humans will begin, and I will lead them all as the new Avatar.
Before the fusion, Unalaq was a spiritual leader with great potential that went terribly wrong. He developed spirit bending from water bending, and even taught Korra how to calm a dark spirit by changing its energy.
Since the Avatar is the bridge between the material world and the spirits, that is why I want so badly to teach you.
Unfortunately, he was also working to release Vaatu, the spirit of darkness. Once he fused with Vaatu, he became unstoppable and began spreading terror.
Brava has been destroyed, and soon you will be too!
However, Unalaq was ultimately a failure. He failed as a human, as a father, and as the Dark Avatar when Korra defeated Vaatu. And there you have it, folks. Our ranking of the most powerful villains in the Avatar universe. Do you agree with our list? Who do you think should have made the cut? Let us know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more epic contents. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay geeky.